Hey, what's happening, guys? I thought it was time to build another kit. So this company contacted me, AI Treasure, and they have this Arduino-based robotic smart car kit, which is Bluetooth controlled. And what really got my attention was it's four-wheel drive. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. And if you haven't built one of these before, I believe this one requires no soldering. But then I haven't opened this box yet, so I really don't know. Quick start guide, excellent. I am always excited when instructions are included. All right, we got parts, and wow. That's a screwdriver, all right. Battery tray. That, I believe, is a Bluetooth module. Looks like an HCS05 or 06. We got some DuPont cables and a USB connector. Sensor shield. That's interesting. Don't worry, we're going to look at all this stuff later. I'm just pulling stuff out. This is a motor shield. This is an Uno clone. Didn't put the hardware in bags. So we've got 4 of these motors, which I used in my original robot car project. Oh, they did put the hardware in a bag. The bag just opened and everything fell out. I see. We got wheels. Now this probably is going to use some form of differential steering, because I can't imagine there's any sort of automotive type steering going on here. So here are our parts. And they're, of course, covered in this lovely brown paper that all this stuff comes covered in. Oh, cool. So this one appears to be red. That's nice. I'm used to the clear ones. It's a little red acrylic. That should come out nice. And it's engraved there. AI Treasure. Alrighty. Let's have a look at some of these individual components here. This is the motor control board, which we can zoom in here. Here we'll do the old physical zoom, or as we used to call it in the day, sneaker zoom. And that is an LM298 chip back there. You can see lots of diodes here for protection. 7905, there's a voltage regulator. Out 2, these are kind of hard to see. Out 3, those are labeled for our, obviously must be our ins. Okay, I see out 1, out 2, out 3, and out 4. Okay. Well, now that makes this even more interesting, since this only has 2 outputs. And if we have differential steering where one side moves faster than the other, so if we're turning this one is steady, car is going to turn like this, then left side and right side are going to have to be connected together. Okay. All right, next up we have this sensor board. Sensor Shield 5.0. We have LED parallel, LCD parallel, or those are both LCD parallel. AREF. I'll have to read this over. There's a Great deal of information to be found here. Ground voltage signal. This appears to be more or less just a breakout board. Nothing particularly impressive going on there. Here's our Arduino Uno clone with header pins. I wish these clone makers, I have no idea who made this one, would go with the micro USB. Pardon the train. I mean, we've gone surface mount with all the other stuff. Might as well get rid of the big chunk in a USB connector. So here's our sensor shield 5.0, you know, with pre-bent pins for our convenience. And things mostly meet up. So that should fit together nicely. That, of course, is going to be a separate module. Let's take a quick look at the instructions. So, instruction number 1, assemble all the hardware component into a car. For instructions, visit their website. You have to have the Arduino IDE, and then they want you, for an Android user, to download AITreasureCar.apk from AITreasure.com. For iOS user, please download Elegoo BLE tool. Okay. Then we have a BOM here. All right. So we have, this appears to be a wiring diagram for the motors. Then a wiring diagram for the L298 board. 2 motors black wire, 2 motors red wire. Extension board wiring diagram. Okay, and they're telling us here where we can wire in the driver board where it goes. Honestly, that's really not required. I'm not quite sure I'll use it at this point, but we'll see. Rocker switch connections. Assemble and set up sequence. So, wire connection table. It doesn't look too bad. I shall assemble it and we'll go from there. Okay, you can see here I've assembled the car bottom plate. The only thing really you need to take note of is this part is the front of the car, and towards the front of the car it cautions you to put the red wires facing up, and to the rear of the car to have the black wires facing up. The next step is to install the wheels. And they just press on. Nothing special here. Just find the, they're keyed. Let's just line up the keys. And they'll go right on. Then we move on to the top plate. All right, the first step in the instructions of the top plate calls for a rocker switch, which was not included in my kit. You can see we have a wire that's supposed to go to a rocker plate or to a rocker switch, and the other side here, but unfortunately there's nothing there. Thumbs down. Alright, following the rocker plate, we're going to install the Arduino. So we need 4 of these short screws. And 4 of the little acrylic spacer blocks. Which I am not going to even bother to tear the paper off of. I mean, they're sandwiched in there. You're never going to see them, so really, who cares, right? That figures. I'll be back when I put this together. Alright, you're going to need a little bit of manual dexterity to put that together. But I did. And once that's done, the next step is to install our motor driver board here. And it goes the same way. We're going to need 4 spacers, 4 screws, and 4 nuts. The instructions show the heat sink facing the Arduino. So you just need a bit of a light touch to get that all going in there. Get yourself some screws and some nuts. And try and hold everything in place. Rotate it just slightly and get one of the nuts started. There's one. Try and get the one diagonally across from it. Sorry, I can't really rotate this much more until I get these couple of nuts started. Okay. So we can tighten up the 2 we got. Then we can rotate it more to get the remaining 2 on there. If you got big sausage fingers like mine, this may be difficult, but it is doable. All right. One more. Again, manual dexterity. If you're building this with your child, you may want to assist them with this part. Okay, so far so good. Alright, the battery box is attached. And now it is telling us to attach this motor, or expansion shield they call it. So that's our next step here, and of course, just like any Arduino shield, it just plugs in. Pretty easy like that. Now it says to attach the black wire to the rocker switch. Well, we don't have one, so we'll have to come back to that at a later date, I'm afraid. Now we need to route our motor wires up through these slots here. Nothing too difficult here. I'll get the other side. Bring them through. I assume the reds go together and the blacks go together, but we'll find that out when we get there. Okay, last two. If I can get a hold of them. Alrighty. And then our last step in the construction is simply to attach the top part of the car to the bottom part of the car. Alright, we're completely assembled. Except for this little plate, which goes on up here somewhere like this. And we'll take care of that in the next video. I think this one has gotten long enough. So we'll wire everything up, do the code, and all of that in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share. Don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks to all the patrons. And a big thanks to AEI Treasure for sending this kit for our consideration. That's it. I'm out. Peace.